You're listening to Big World Network.
Amazing Grace, Episode 10. Written by James Hellvig, read by Meagan Hedin. Kat and Dale argue with quiet intensity in the basement of the safe house complex. Dale struggles to maintain his composure, saying, "We already know they're watching the hospital. It's too damn big to secure." Nodding in agreement, Kat replies, "It's a risk, but any time we take them out is going to be a risk. Because it's so high profile, it'll make it harder for the opposition, too. We'll maximize our own coverage both overtly and covertly. Maybe, just maybe, we'll snag someone who knows something." Face reddening, Dale snaps, "The damn media is all over the hospital right now. How do you explain an armed procession to them?" Her face hardening and her finger pointing at his face, Kat responds heatedly, "We use 'em, Sergeant Major, like we always do. Just like you taught me to." Closing his eyes and clenching his fist, Dale breathes deeply in and out. Kat lays a hand on his shoulder. Sighing, she says, "We're running out of time. It's our best shot, right?" Shoulders sagging in acceptance, Dale nods, mumbling, "Right, 12 hours, Major. I lead the security detail, and you get to tell Anna the plan. All of it." Kat, "They've earned the right to at least know why they're being dangled." Grunting, Kat responds, "Agreed. But you get to explain to the Joint Chiefs about the security breach." Grimacing, Dale quips, "What are they going to do? Fire me?" Anna hugs her knees to her chest as Kat briefs them on the upcoming morning excursion. Mother Steele and Brenda listen intently as the normally cheerful woman stonily goes over the details. "This is exactly what we talked about. While we are going to visit Father Bernard and Mac, our primary focus is to draw out the opposition. The hospital will have watchers on it." Mother Steele asks, "Does George know we're coming?" Shaking her head, Kat replies, "No, and we won't tell them. The stakes are considerably higher now. The arms dealer we've all been searching for has almost certainly smuggled weapons of mass destruction into the country, possibly into the city." Eyes widening, Anna blurts, "What? How? What kind of weapons?" Sighing, Kat raises her hands, silencing the barrage of questions. "I've already violated my orders by telling you this much. The details are classified and, frankly, won't change what we started out to do. What does change is the amount of danger we'll be placing each of you in. If any of you want out of this, now is the time to speak up." Kat smiles at the determined-looking faces staring silently back at her. Anna asks, "Does Mom know about this?" Shrugging her shoulders, Kat replies honestly, "I don't know. We know she's had better luck than we have in finding some of the opposing players." Brenda whispers, "That man in the news, the one who jumped, was that Tammy?" Grimacing, Kat says, "We think so." Gunfire, breaching doors, smoke and the acidic stink of adrenaline mixed with fear. The flashbulb pictures show of a screaming, deranged man clutching a terrified child to his chest. These images flicker through Tammy's dreams, causing her to moan loudly. In her dream, she raises her weapon and fires without hesitation, killing the child and the terrorist with the smooth stroke of a trigger. Drenched in sweat, Tammy bolts upright, heart pounding. She strangles the scream in her throat, emitting instead a hissed, "No!" Eyes darting all around her, Tammy's chest heaves. The pistol in her right hand is held with white-knuckled intensity. Panting, she squeezes her eyes shut. But the slow realization that the dream is a recovered memory makes her shiver. "Damn you, Dale, why didn't you tell me?" Tears stream down her face. Guilt and loathing make her heart ache. "Oh God, how did I get past that? Why the hell can't I remember that?" Snarling in frustration, Tammy slams the pistol down hard on the makeshift night table. Coming to her feet and pacing, she stomps to her plastic bin of homeless attire. Taking a bottle of cheap whiskey from the small stash atop it, she tears the seal and grimaces as the putrid liquid burns down her throat. Snapping the bottle down, her mouth opens in a surprised "oh." A nuke! That was the mission! Is this woman tied to that somehow? Shit! I've got to get back in the loop. Looking at the half-empty bottle with newfound longing, Tammy grits her teeth and returns it to its original place. Shoving her personal feelings aside, she begins hastily dressing to go. Concealing her weapons and checking her monitors, Tammy exits, squinting at the early morning sun. Max seethes at the delays in his release. Growling at the nurse who is taking his vitals, he snaps. "Where is that damned doctor? He was supposed to be here an hour ago." Father Bernard sighs loudly, and Mac's sister, Elizabeth, scolds her brother, saying sternly, "Language, brother!" Speaking to the nurse, who is looking across her brother's chest, she sighs, "I apologize for my brother, dear. He was rude, even as a child." Smiling in return, the nurse nods, winking and saying with a touch of humor, "Not a problem. And Mr. Reynolds, the doctor has let us know that he's running behind and will be with you as soon as he can." Grunting in reply and glaring at his sister, Mac says, "Typical." Father Bernard adds, "With all the commotion outside, it might be better for us to leave later." Mac scowls. The muted television shows a growing crowd of protesters waving signs at the cameras. The gang members involved in the arson attempt on the church have been denied bail. Their homies are being universally verbal about it. They go where the media is. This is turning into a circus. The young man moves with the crowd, his dark hair and complexion easily blending in with the largely Hispanic assembly. Sweat beads lightly on his head and runs down his back. His instructions are simple and direct. Wait until the crowd is fully assembled and is directly in front of the hospital entrance, with the full attention of the media. Then move to the center of the crowd and send the infidels straight to hell. The heavy vest digs into his shoulders uncomfortably and his eyes dart around the crowd. Not a burden much longer. My family has the money, and I go to paradise. Inshallah. Jorge pushes the heavily loaded maintenance cart into the basement supply closet and closes the door. Most of the night shift crew has already left, and he attracts no attention as he leaves with the stragglers. He walks directly across the street and into the parking garage, glancing at the approaching mob and the uniformed officers moving to block them. Grabbing the cop and the priest is one thing. Getting more of my gang thrown in jail is another. Puta. At least putting that damn bomb in the closet will minimize the damage. Digging his keys out of his pocket, Jorge enters the nondescript van and drives it out of the area he's sure will soon be blockaded. I hope whatever asshole she's using to grab them are competent. Dale directs a small motorcade around the protesters and approaches the hospital from the rear, keeping in contact with the multiple watcher and reaction teams. Every agency we've got is represented here. What a cluster. Anna sits next to him, and Mother Steele and Brenda appear to be praying together across from him. Repressing a sigh, Dale mutters softly, "I'll take all the help I can get."
This has been a presentation of Big World Network. Visit us on BigWorldNetwork.com for more free weekly series, or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for listening.
You're listening to Big World Network.